Okay, guys, thank you guys so much for coming back. So we're at our number 2 director bound, moving on up call, and just really have had so much fun this week with seeing what you guys have done. So let's get started and share screen. Let's get this party started. So again, as last week, if anybody has any questions or comments, if you just want to put it into the chat. And then Jeannie, if you want to sort of keep an eye on it, just if anybody has any questions or anything like that. So we had a great week. I loved seeing you guys jump right on here. Jeannie and I loved seeing your dream boards. And what I loved about seeing them is that you guys really did dream big, which was exciting. Who appreciated this activity? Anyone thought it was good? I know some of you found it painful. I know that that's it, because some of you don't. It's not normal for us to dream. Some of you, it's not normal. Me, oh, my heads are always in the clouds. But some people, it's not easy to dream, and I realize that. And that could be for a lot of different reasons. But some of you, I heard, had to give it a little bit of extra thought. Who thought that maybe it wasn't as easy as you thought it would be? And yeah. Some of you, yeah, see a little bit. So, it's, again, here's the big thing, and this is what I would hope that you've done, that you want to remember the key to this is not just to have done it, because you're going to already have forgotten what's there. The key is that you're going to want to post it everywhere. So I hope you've made it your screensaver. I hope it's on your phone. Print it out, post it in your bathroom. Put it on the refrigerator. I have them in my van. I drive around with it in the car. Like, I want to see that every day so that I'm going to be able, and we're going to talk about in the next couple weeks, some more of these daily kind of activities. That's so important. Like, yeah, it was a fun activity and stuff like that. But I'm going to tell you, those dreams are not going to be a reality unless you are able to really be able to access them all the time. So you're really going to want to make sure it's right out there and about. Like, I have it in my office, but I know I am not in my office 24/7. I need to have it with me all the time. So make sure of that. That's a big thing. And here's a saying that we talk a lot about in Pampered Chef. And what it means is that when you are clear on your why you are doing your business, which are those dreams, what's important to you, how Pampered Chef can help you achieve your goals, how you go about your daily task to achieve these goals is going to be easy because you're motivated with an end result in mind. So when the why is clear, the how will become easy. Okay, so that's what, and that may be, if you've been through this process before, that, or maybe some sort of process, if one of your dreams is something out, maybe it's not even business related, maybe it's weight loss, maybe it's whatever, that sometimes I think when our why we want to lose weight, why we want to achieve something, maybe that hasn't been really clear before, and that's what we've got to make sure, because once that's clear, everything else will become really really easy. And, the skill assessments were pretty fun, too. They were fun for me to watch and Jeannie to sort of keep an eye on. And here's what I wanted to do is just sort of give you results of how you guys sort of stacked up with this. So the first part of it is what we want to focus on this week. So really about belief. So we had that question about belief in myself, belief in others, and belief in the business. So the belief in myself, about a quarter of you are good. A quarter of you just know that you rock and you believe in yourself. But again, more than half understand it, but probably, and probably know how important it is. But we really need to put that in practice a little bit more. And that's, I think, sometimes one of the hardest. Belief in others, again, half of you are like, yeah, I'm in, I totally believe that others can succeed and their I don't want to say their value, because I don't think that's necessarily what this is, but just that you believe that others can make something of themselves and of things. Again, and half of you think maybe we need to work on that a little bit more. And then the belief in the business. This is, again, more than half of you have that down, but some of you know it's there, but maybe we just need to keep that more consistent. And, and this is where we want to, I think it was a very telling activity, but again, it's going to go right into what we're going to be working on today as well. So I want to start with, and again, this is something that is familiar, I know, to a lot of you, but we're going to talk about belief. And this is actually the belief cycle. The reason we need to start here is that it affects so much of what you do. So as you can see from the chart, your beliefs determine your actions determine your results, and then your results are going to in turn, determine your beliefs. So it really is a cycle like this, but it all starts on where and how you believe. So let's do a little example here. And I'm going to start with a negative example. So for example, if you believe that it's January and no one has any money left from Christmas, no, they don't have any money left for Christmas, especially not for Pampered Chef. Okay, if that's what you go into January believing, your actions are most likely going to be that you won't be booking any January parties. Because why? Because nobody's going to buy anything anyway. And so that's it. So that's your actions. You're not booking any parties because nobody has any money anyway. The results are, well, you're not going to have any parties. You're not going to have a commission for January. You're not going to earn any free-for-all. I also want you to remember, too, that what you do today affects your business in 60 to 90 days. So if you have no shows this month and you're not actively out there booking this month, you're probably also going to find in about 3 months, begin spring, one point that you're going to have a big hole that you're going to be scrounging for business. That's going to happen too. So this lack of, or this, not a lack of, but this crappy results for January is absolutely going to affect and reinforce what you believe about January, right? Your belief is it's crappy. You're not going to book any parties. Your results are you have a crappy month, so it's crappy in January. That's how it works. But if you believe that everyone does have extra money from Christmas, that they're excited to spend on themselves now versus everyone else, your action will be that you're going to be talking about your business, talking about our great new products. Your result is that you're going to have bookings and you're going to have business, and that is going to reinforce your belief that January is the best time to host a party. Okay, everybody see how that works?
So Anna,
yes,
we have something in the queue here.
Yes.
So Katrina was wondering, well, how do you overcome the host if the host's belief is that nobody has any money in January? So do you have a good some ideas there for us?
Well, that is a great thing. So is the show already booked? Would we consider that the show's already booked and the host is saying nobody has any money, so I don't want to invite people? Or are they saying no, they won't come? Do you want to?
Let's see. She says both.
Both? Okay. Well, I would say, I mean, if the show's already booked, what I would then turn it, because again, my belief is that they do have money, but two things. I would first off ask her how many people she has talked to, because more than likely, she's probably only had a couple of people tell her no, or a handful of people tell her no. And we know, just like everything else, that it's a numbers kind of thing, but there are going to be certain people that are not going to have any money any time to come, but not necessarily this time. So I would encourage her to keep asking. But then I would also suggest that she keeps asking and really talking, making that big 40 group, 40 people to ask, but just to tell them, come to let's do a recipe, to change the focus again from us being in the sales kind of thing where we're schlepping stuff around, just taking orders, that you want them to come so you can show them a great recipe. Because here's the worst case scenario: you get 10 people there and all 10 of them don't have money, which I guess could totally happen. But that you're going to be able to really focus on those people that don't have money. If there's products they want, that we could book a party in the future for them, because that's the best way to get that. Or if they don't have money, we can talk to them about being a consultant too. Does that answer? I'm going to go into the chat to see. Katrina, do you see? I noticed, oh, good. So Megan has said, I have a host that believed that. I told her she'd be surprised. She shouldn't prejudge. She invited 58. 24, bam, there. Good example, Megan.
Absolutely. I think just if I may add two things.
Yeah, please.
So one is that I have someone in my downline that has already had 5 shows go over $1,000 this month.
Wow.
So that just, and they're virtual. Those happen to be virtual shows. So if you haven't had a show or you don't know that, you can use someone else's story and just say, I know a consultant that has already had 5 shows that went over 1,000. Mm-hmm. So using other people's stories, it works too. Mm-hmm. Another thing is maybe if you have them bring a friend, have our guests bring friends, and then maybe you're going to offer something a little juicier than maybe you do at a typical show. So you're sort of saying, hey, let's bump up your numbers because it is a numbers game. And so let's just do something special like that. And I'm going to give you X for every guest that comes. So something little like that.
Yeah. Great. Good. Is that good, Katrina? What I think that we need to talk about is that belief of your host doesn't affect your belief, because your belief has got to know with all of the other things that we've got going on that she's wrong. She's just wrong. That's just not the case. But that there is business there, just that month kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Okay.
She says we're good.
All right, good. All right, so here's what's really, this is where we get into this again with all of this, that there's a whole idea, and we know this, that we have thousands and thousands of thoughts that go through our mind each day. Many of those thoughts are negative ones. That's just who we are. A lot of times that's just what we do. But the beautiful thing is that you can train your brain to believe what you want it to. Did you know that? So we know that positive thoughts will bring on positive actions and positive results. There is a whole science there on how your subconscious is the one that causes, your subconscious is what causes you to breathe, to blink, and to swallow. It does all of that automatically, but it also will believe whatever you tell it to. So if you're a reader, if anybody's a reader and they like books here, we're going to talk about self-development and stuff. There's a great book. It's called Train Your Brain, How to Build a $1 Million Business in Record Time. But it's called Train Your Brain. It's the author is Dana Wilde, W-I-L-D-E. And he goes through this whole science of how to train your brain. And it's pretty amazing. Like, it's for real. It's like real stuff. But again, the way to train your brain and to get positive results is what we're going to talk about tonight, and is going to be your homework this week. But it's another one of these best practices that successful entrepreneurs do on a daily basis, and those are positive affirmations, right? Anybody done these before, positive affirmations? Yes. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. A positive affirmation is one of the ways to battle through those negative thoughts that tend to hold people back from achieving goals. Now, these sound like they're all hocus pocus and all kind of weird, but they absolutely work. A positive affirmation is a positive statement worded, here's the key, worded as if you are already doing what you want to achieve. Many consultants make the mistake of wording it as I will. I will book 8 shows next month. I will promote to director. I will sell $4,000. But what you want to do is you want to word it instead as I am. When you do this, you're going to train your brain to hear that you're already accomplishing what you want to accomplish. So you say, I am holding 8 shows a month. I am adding to my team at a rate of 2 a month, or whatever that is. But I am doing it, and that's going to help train your brain into that. Now, here's the other part of it. So you're going to write them. You're going to make them that present tense. You're going to read them out loud 2 times a day. You want to read them first thing in the morning to help you focus for the day and remind you of what you want to achieve. And then lastly, before you go to bed, because reading them before bed helps your mind think about them while you're sleeping. And it's also very important, as weird as this is going to sound, to read them out loud, not silently in your head, not to just sit there and go, like out loud, Megan, like really, like you want to hear. There's so much power in hearing your own voice saying that you're doing something that you want to do. That's where the power in this is really going to come. Okay, so let me just go on to let's talk about where and how we're going to do, just to give you guys a little bit of, there's 6 different areas. We talked about these on our last call for a dream board, and you want to have at least one per these different 6 areas usually. A great idea is to write them on like a cardstock or on like note card, and then clip them together. And as you read one of them, move it to the back so that you can read each of them separately. Now, you may have several affirmations for certain areas and only 1 or 2 for others, and that's okay. But you're going to definitely want at least 1 in each area. So here's an example. Maybe for health and fitness, like mine would be, I am walking 30 minutes 3 times a week. That's like my start. I have not been active for several months because of some issues. But that's like my thing I need to start doing. Now, in a month, because I'm going to be going on a Europe trip in April, and I know I'm going to be walking all over the freaking continent, I need to be walking more than 3 times a week. So like I'm going to, that's the fun thing, is these affirmations can change as well. So that might be an example. Maybe for personal growth, I am reading 1 book per quarter. Maybe for financial, I'm saving X amount each month for the college fund. So again, I am doing these different things. And you go from where your dream board is and sort of work backwards. Look at those dreams and then make your affirmations off of that. And when you accomplish one of those affirmations, so when you go through and that affirmation, I want to change it, or I want to, up it or do whatever, I'm just going to throw that card out. And then I'll add different affirmations as my goals change. This beginning of the year is a great time to write them, because then we could reevaluate them in the summer. So to do them sort of every 6 months would be a great time to be doing them, and to, again, make this one of your best practices. Make this is really something important to do. Okay, so homework for this week, that I want you to write at least 1 affirmation for each of those 6 categories. And then you're going to email or Facebook message the affirmations to me or Jeannie by the next call, whoever your director is, or your upline, and then to start reading them out loud 2 times a day, to start that little practice of doing that. And my thought would be, we've got a day off tomorrow kind of thing, that again, if we want to get going with these, if we want to start training your brain earlier than later, like to start getting them going earlier in the week, not to wait till, the end of the week to do them if possible, just because that way, you can really start doing it and getting those going. Okay, does anybody have any questions or... I love these, like, short, straight to the point trainings. Anybody else? Yeah. Good. Anybody? Do you want me? I'm going to stop sharing this.
Got my
What's
my little cards right here.
You have yours affirmation cards already? Yay, good. That's a great, like, I love it. This is good.
It is good.
Yeah. Do you have anything to add, Jeannie?
Well, I think it's just, you want to know why you're doing it, I guess, is just to reflect on why it's important to you. So sometimes I put on some of my affirmations that why. So this is an example.
Oh.
Because I've been reading a little more about affirmations and how to make them really powerful.
Mhm.
Because we can convince ourselves that we're millionaires. I'm a millionaire, but you're gonna maybe be a year from now and still not be a millionaire. You know, you want to make sure it's something that's you can it's achievable.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, I got a tickle. And anyway, there's some nuances, but
Mhm.
don't worry about perfectionism. It's doing it, getting it going is really important. But if they said if you could just know the why, like why is it important? So like, for example, this one's just simple. I am happy. Okay. Well, why am I happy? Well, because I'm living by the 5-minute rule. And so I learned that the 5-minute rule is, you know, if something goes wrong, like your show cancels, you can bitch and moan and be all nasty and unhappy and throw a temper tantrum for 5 minutes, but then that's it, no more. And then you say the 3 magic words, can't change it. And then you're happy again. So, you know, so it's just like a choice, but that kind of reminds me that if I find myself being unhappy about something, that is now in my mind because I've been looking at that card. I live by the 5-minute rule. So I only have 5 minutes to, you know, do this. And now I'm going to say I can't change it. And I'm moving on. So it's powerful to sort of know the why behind it.
Mm-hmm. I love that. That's a great affirmation too, because again, you have that on your mind. I don't know about you, but sometimes I'll have go halfway through the day and all of a sudden I'm like, I automatically, I'm like, I am not happy. What is bothering? Like I have to stop and say, what is it that is bothering me? And, you know, to sort of figure that out. But then again, to take it and just sort of say, I can't change this kind of thing. Let's get rid of that and move on. So.
Well, it's just, you know, it's just something I noticed was tapping my energy. If I kind of was like, oh man, you know, I really thought I had 3 recruits and I have 0, you know, and I could get myself a little bit, I can go my downward spiral and start doing that negative self-talk. And I go, nope, 5-minute rule, get over yourself.
Yeah.
Can't change it. And it's very amazingly powerful. So yeah. I love it.
I think that would be a really powerful thing because I know that there's maybe people on this call perhaps that get paralyzed when things start going not their way. Yeah. I wasn't pointing fingers, Patty, and you're not the only one. But when things start start going downhill, or a couple of those things start that spiral, that it's a paralyzation instead of a 5 minutes. All right, I'm done. I can't change it. Let's turn it around and do something. You know, like that's, you know, so I love that. I love that. And that will be part of next week, isn't it? I believe the next week's homework. That idea comes from that
Miracle Morning
video. Yes, for next weekend. So you guys will hear that again. So that's really good. All right. Well, I'm excited, guys. I love it. I can't wait to see your affirmations. I'm excited to sort of revise mine, and I'm going to work on mine this week too. Because again, you know, Jeannie's got hers. I'm going to get mine going. We're doing everything you guys are. This isn't just something too. So good. I'm glad you're booking parties, Tori. We talked about this. Everybody is stuck home right now watching the game in the snow, unless you don't live from here. And you're some
lots of snow.
And Jen is in the snow, but she's in Pennsylvania. Ray, is there snow there? Oh, you're muted. Jimmy. Oh, wait, I'm going to unmute you. Hold on, Ray. I'm unmuting you. Why is it not unmuting Ray? Oh, yeah, there you go, Ray. Is it snowing there, Ray?
It's not, but it was 20 below.
Oh, my. Where do you live again?
Minnesota.
Oh.
That's why I hate to say it, but I don't feel too sorry for all of you folks out on the East Coast because you get paralyzed by stuff we just let go.
Yeah, you just let go. You're 12 below in Pennsylvania, Jen. Well, I think we were thinking we were cold because it was 7 today. You know, that was the high, was 7. So, but Matt and I were talking about that. I go, gosh, it looks awful cold there in Kansas City. And he goes, no, it's not as cold as here. And I looked, I go, Matt, it's 19. He goes, yeah, see? It's 10 degrees cool. I go, Matt, tell me that you would want to sit outside there in 19-degree weather and watch that football game. I think you would be, that is cold. It's cold. Anything below 60 is cold. Miserable. We're all moving to spin with Patty in Florida.
Or Casey, she's down there too.
Oh, Casey, that's it. Open it up. We're coming. The 30s, we'd be in our bathing suit.
We'll come visit you, Casey.
It's still pretty cold for us. 40. People are panicking. They're calling it a weather event because it's 40.
Well, I saw you had a sweatshirt on. I was thinking, wait a minute.
I do.
Weather.
I'm cold natured. I don't mind it being hot. So I'm a wimp.
There was
I
a
did live in Minnesota though, so I do feel Ray's pain. I did live in Minnesota before.
There was a fun meme this week from somebody up here in Maine that was like, oh, it hit 32. I'm so glad summer is back. Like, yes, that's it. So, all right, guys, get back to the game. Thank you guys so much for coming on. I'm excited to see your affirmations. Make sure you don't use any of your passes. So make sure that you get it to us so we can track it and make sure you're all set. So have a great night. Have a good week.